Man, I wish I can get those cool Godzilla figures I see all the time online. I just don't know where to get them.
I believe I can help you with that.
Who's there?
Don't worry, I'll be able to get you some great deals. And I'll help you get any of the figures you want.
Really?
Well, yeah, dum-dum, I'll help you out in any way possible.
Oh my god! Yes, this video is brought to you by Beast of the East Collectibles, where you can get all sorts of your favorite kaiju stuff, including Godzilla, Gamera, Ultraman, Kamen Rider, you name it, for all good prices! Are you tired of eBay scalpers selling those same exact figures for over $20 worth there actually are? Well, guess what? Beast of the East Collectibles has got you covered! And that's not all. If you use this coupon code showed on screen, first order 1, you can get 5% off your first order. But also, if you subscribe to their newsletter, you can get another 5% off coupon again. Probably not going to be able to stack that up with the other one though, because that feels like cheating. But that's where I get all these other cool figures from. So how about you join me and get these new figures off of Beast of the East Collectibles today. Thank you, Beast of the East Collectibles, for being so nice to me and just all these other favorite customers of yours. Thank you for all of your service. I have no idea what I'm going to do without you. Now let's get right on into the toy review! Yeah, baby! Hello everyone, welcome back to another toy review, and today we are looking at the Mattel 30th Anniversary Street Sharks, being Big Slammu and Streex. Now before I continue further, I must say that I am in a huge thing right now on OG Goji SM's channel in a future film called Godzilla Eschaton, where I'll give you a little bit of a hint, but I play the main villain in this story. Now, that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to spoil any more because I don't want him to get mad at me. Gabriel, please don't get mad at me. But I just want to let you know I'm being a part of this project, and I am very happy that I am. So also go subscribe to his channel as well. I'll put a link in the description to his channel as well. So before we actually review the figures, let's look at their boxes. So here is Streex' box. You can see it has combat claws and fin-line skates. You can see there's a Street Sharks logo. There's a Streex name tag down there. Try me, I bite on the other side. And of course on the back there's that beautiful mural on the back with other figures to collect. There's Streex. There's how you can attach his hands, which we'll get to in a minute. Now let's read his bio. Streex, cut to the quick. Slick, quick, and fast. He's got a tiger in his tank for turbocharged moves. Think fast, skates faster. Street skills. Skates are at incredible speeds with tricks so sweet they'll make you weep. Claws slash, teeth gash at his spines at 2,000 RPM in a blur of savage stripes. His main shoes are stereos, turbochargers, stopwatches, chain link fences, and hot dogs. So apparently he likes hot dogs. And of course there's a little try me window where you can try and press down his fin. Now for Slammu's box, oops, hold on a second, there's another image on this side that shows how you can swap his hands. Now for Slammu's box, here it is. Classic Street Sharks logo. Big Slammu right there. Super Slam Fist there on the side. Try me, I bite. On the other side, pull my arm up and for a whale of a smash. What a title that is. And of course, there's the back with the Try Me window, how to open and close his mouth, and of course his Super Slam Fist. Now his bio. Big Slammu, lower the boom. Strongest shark around with raw instinct for survival that doesn't quit. Slow to react, but unstoppable once he does. Street skills. No shark can beat his strength. He smashes cars with a single hand slam, lifts loaded buses before breakfast, and wrestles bulldozers for kicks. Main shoes, deep freezers, big screen TVs, and all you can eat meal deals. He is my kind of guy. All you can eat meals? I'm all in for that. And of course, there's the Try Me window there with others to collect. Dr. Ronald, Streex, Jab, Slash, and of course, Ripster. And now, since we've covered their boxes, let's get on to the figures, starting with big ol' Slammu. Looking at Slammu head on, he looks a bit goofy, but from the side, he looks great. He's got the painted eyes with the eye shine. He's got very nicely painted teeth. Looks like he's missing a couple of teeth. I mean, he was a football player in the show, so I guess that does make sense. Teeth are painted very nicely. You can see he's got his little nostrils there. Same thing on the other side, very nicely painted teeth. The inside of the mouth is actually a different color, which is like a darker maroon. The upper part of the jaw is still like that Sadly, there are some like creasings on the side thanks to the rubber, so Mattel, you better fix that in the future. But he also has these little spots on his head. They almost look like silver, which I don't know why they're silver. In the show, I think they were like orange or something. But on his arms, they are extremely bulky. Like, look at that. Like, the musculature on that. And, of course, he's got his little yellow wristbands and these big old hands, dude. These grippers are huge. Huge grippers, man. Anyways, here's his bare chest with all these veins. He's got abs. He's got the little tie for his shorts there, which is very cute. He's got the little belt buckle in there. He's got some knee pads, some socks, and along with these really cool-looking shoes, these little football cleats, which have detail on the bottom. That is very nice, Mattel. Same thing with the other arm. It basically looks the same. There's a shark fin, the gills right on top of his head. The back is extremely muscular. I mean, look at that. All the veins and stuff. You can even see a bit of his vertebrae right here. Even on the back, he's got some more sewing back there. He's got, of course, the football cleats, his socks, and everything. Detail and paint looks very nice, to say the least. Looks very, very nice for Slammu. So definitely worth solid stars for both. Well, I don't really rank them by stars, but still. Anyways, while we're still here, let's go over his articulation. So this arm can actually swivel all the way around and can hinge out and back in. His elbow will be able to bend just like so, and it can also swivel all the way around. His wrist can also swivel all the way around and is also on a hinge, just like the other sharks. Classic articulation. Now, before we get to this arm, it is about the same, except that's part of the gimmick, but the elbow still does bend, and of course it still does swivel all the way around. Same thing with the wrist, swivels all the way around, and of course can hinge in and out, but it's still quite a bit tight since I don't really play with it as much. But yeah, there's that. He's got a waist swivel, just like the other sharks besides Ripster, so he's got a waist swivel there. His legs can kick forward about that far and can go that far back. They can also spread out just like so and back in. He does have a knee bend, which is very useful, maybe for standing purposes. And he does have a hinge at the feet. He does actually have a swivel and a hinge at the feet. It's very hard to get that, but you can get it though. I must say you can get that though. And of course it's the same thing on the other side, which I don't really have to explain. Now let's go over his gimmicks. Now of course the first gimmick we have is of course the fin on the back. You push it and he opens his mouth, which of course he opens pretty wide. And this little part down here can kind of squish, and he's got an even bigger bite now. Look at that. One thing I also do complain about is there's this really big seam at the back where it's supposedly another mold in teeth, which I think I probably should have hid that a little bit better, if I must say so myself. I mean, come on, Mattel. But either way, this works absolutely perfectly. And also for his other attack, for his other gimmick, all you gotta do is pull up his arm, and he slams right back down. He slams right back down. In the show, it's called the seismic slam, which causes earthquakes, but thankfully my house is not broken down from that yet. But for example, let's give him someone to punch. Let's give him Shadow. Let's give him Shadow. Let's let him slam Shadow. Come on and slam, and welcome to the jam. There he goes. There goes Shadow with a big Slammu fist. Boom. Yeah, there's Shadow. There we go. That is Slammu. Let's get on to Streex. And here we have Streex. He's looking real nice. The tiger shark, the second oldest in the group, named Bobby, which classic American name. And of course, he's got his eyes, he's got his teeth painted in there. You can see his mouth in there. Sadly, he does have this really big chip on this tooth, which, like, I mean, sure, painting rubber is hard, but, like, I mean, they could have used a little bit more there, but, like, that's my only complaint. But he's got the nostrils, he's got a lighter tone of blue, like, towards his stomach region and his nose. And he almost looks like he has, like, a metallic finish. Like, you can see his stripes going down his arm. You can see, you know, all the musculature in there. You can even see his gloves here that also have that painted, like, part of the arm. And, of course, the nails are also painted on both sides very nicely. He's got his shorts, he's got his abs, and, of course, he's got the roller blades. And, yes, they do actually roll just like so. Look at that. He rolls right on those skates. Awesome, Mattel. I'm glad you've still kept that in. Absolutely perfect. On the back, here's the back of him, which this looks a lot like a face hugger from the Alien movies. Like, you know, it looks just like the face hugger, literally, if you kind of look really deep into that. But there's the back of his arms, and there's his fin that's also striped there. There's the back of his pants with some stitching, some rippage, and of course the back of the roller blades, which do have some very nice details, along with the little straps there. Look at that. That's pretty cool. He's also got a butt crack. Don't know why, but I guess they just added that in. Streex looks amazing, dude. He looks freaking amazing. Now, before we go on to like the gimmicks and articulation, how about we go over his little weird gimmick here, if I can get him to stand. So he comes with 2 alternate hands, because the original figure actually had a little lever on the back, which actually like extended these claws like on that side, but this time they're actually separate accessories. So what you do, I'll only demonstrate this for one hand because it's basically the same, is you pull off that, oh dear God, everything's falling apart. You push in this hand until you hear it click. There you go, there's that hand, and I guess we'll get the other hand on now as well. We just gotta pull it off, just like so, and then apply the other hand until we hear it pop. Alright, we got it. And there we go, now he's got his Freddy Krueger claws up and ready. Everything is falling over on this side, dear God. Yeah, his hands are really hard to get off, as much as I'm saying that, because like, especially this hand too, it's like very tight. But you can see that there are hinges here, so that's a bit of an articulation spoiler. But speaking of that, let's actually get into some articulation. So his arms can go all the way around and can hinge out and in. His elbows can, of course, bend back and forth, not by too much, honestly, not by too much. But they can also swivel all the way around. And, of course, he has a hinge at his wrist and can also swivel all the way around. His waist can also swivel, same here. And, of course, same thing on the other arm, hinge at the shoulder, hinge at the elbow, and, of course, a hinge at the wrist. Awesome, awesome. His legs can kick back, not really far, but thanks to this knee bend, you can really get it that far. Even when he's still on his skates, he can still roll when you get his knees bent like this. Kinda. he can do it. He can do it for sure. But like, yeah, he's also got bends at the knees, and of course, you can, you know, make him do the splits. Don't know why you want to, but if that's what you're into, then go on ahead. But of course, since we already covered his first gimmick, which is technically the claws, his second gimmick is right on the back. You push it, and of course, he starts chomping. Classic Street Sharks gimmick. And yeah, there is Streex. Now, finally, let's get into our closing and possibly a sneak peek for the next review. Overall, I do love these figures very much, especially Streex. He's not my favorite in the line. He's definitely my second favorite. Probably my favorite gonna have to be Dr. Paranoid, just because he's so unique. But there are the last 2 Sharks. Finally, we've got through the first 2 waves of these Street Sharks figures. And when next we meet, honestly, I don't know what we're going to be talking about in the next meeting. I have no idea. Maybe some Sonic figures, maybe something else, or I don't know. I ain't got nothing. But so far, there it is with the Sharks, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.